Okay, number 61 is another proof. So I'm going to label on the diagram everything that they gave me to begin with. We know that EBC, this angle, is congruent to ECB. We know that AB is perpendicular to BE. We know that DC is perpendicular to CE. And we know that AB is congruent to DC. Okay, so I'm going to start my proof, and I'm going to label everything that I was just given in my proof. Number 1, I'm going to try and write it all in one line. EBC is congruent to angle ECB. AB is perpendicular to BE. DC is perpendicular to CE. And AB is congruent to DC. It was all given. Okay, now I'm going to add to my diagram things that I know, and specifically knowing that these two angles are congruent tells me that these sides are congruent because it must be an isosceles triangle. So I'm going to add that fact. BE has to be congruent to CE because of the isosceles triangle theorem. Okay, now that I have this information in the triangle on the left and on the triangle on the right, I have enough information to show that they're congruent. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Triangle ABE is congruent to triangle DCE because of side angle side. Number 3. Because in each one of them I have a side, an angle, and a side. Side, angle, side. And statement 4 will then allow me to go straight ahead and say that therefore AE must be congruent to DE, like I'm asked to prove, because of CPCTC. I have these two triangles are congruent, so therefore their corresponding parts must be congruent. All right, number 62 goes back to kind of what we learned in the very, very beginning of the year. We're talking about what is required to make a line in a plane, etc. In A, we have 2 points are always collinear. If I draw any 2 points in the paper, we can connect them with one specific line. So that's always. They're always collinear. Also specifically, if I draw 2 points anywhere in space, there has to be a plane that goes through them. So they are always coplanar. 3 points, however, if I stick my third point out here, they aren't collinear. But if I put my third point instead in between them, then they would be collinear. So they are sometimes collinear. However, 3 points are always coplanar. No matter where I stick the third point, if it's in between or if I stick it out here, they can always be connected with one plane. Okay, finally, we're going to talk about indirect reasoning. If I earn $20 this week, then I will go to a movie. I did not go to a movie, therefore, what do we think the indirect reasoning is? I did not earn $20 this week. Basically, we talked about indirect reasoning when we talked about proofs. And we had 2 types of proofs. We had direct proof versus indirect proof. Direct proofs, you basically just start out and try to get to the end. And in indirect proofs, we started by assuming the opposite of the conclusion. Which is basically what we did here. If I earn $20 a week, then I will go to a movie. Since I did not go to a movie, therefore I must not have earned $20 this week.